magic boat will take you to an important past life related to your interest in marine biology. So we're looking for a past life which would explain to us, why did you choose this occupation? So we're drifting and floating in this beautiful boat. It can go into the ocean, it can go under the water, it can go above the water, anywhere it wants to go. But it will somehow be related to the sea and the water. So drifting and floating and floating and drifting. And now the boat is slowing down. And it is stopping in an appropriate time and place for you to stop and look and examine. So now the mists are slowly dispersing and the picture is becoming more and more clear. And I want you to tell me the very first thing that you see down there.
I see like a sea cave.
It's a sea cave. Is it above water or is it underwater?
It's underwater.
Underwater, all right. Are you comfortable breathing underwater?
Oh, yeah.
And there is a sea cave, all right, very good. What is around this cave? What can you see around it?
It's like a collections of all these different creatures. Like I see some skeletons. I see some jars, almost as like a museum.
Oh, so it's an underwater museum, all right. So I want you now to look down and tell me, are you swimming or are you standing on something?
I'm just perfectly neutrally buoyant. I'm just floating.
You're
But
just
there's
floating,
this,
right?
like an abyss below me. There's like the cave opens up into this cliff, and then there's just nothing.
There is absolutely nothing. All right, so let's bring in the magic mirror, and I'm gonna count to 3, and on count of 3, you will see how you look like. 1, 2, 3. Look at the reflection in the magic mirror and tell me. What do you notice?
Like a very flat blue face, like a humanoid, but just like my eyes are wide apart. My face looks really flat. Kind of.
Do you have any hair?
No.
Yes or no? No, all right. How is it's a kind of a flat face. Tell me, do you have like mouth and nose or no?
A mouth.
You do
And the
have a
nose
mouth.
is very flat too. I just see one slit for
Or
my
just
nose.
one slit, okay. Do you have any kind of ears or any kind of organs of
No.
for hearing? No. Interesting. How does the rest of your body look like?
I have 4 not like they're kind of like arms, but more like tentacles looking.
More like tentacles. How do they end? Do they have any fingers or they end like almost like an octopus tentacle?
Kind of like an octopus, but there's more like twirl. It's almost like fingers, but they're an extension of the tentacle.
It's an extension of a tentacle, all right. Does it have suckers, each of those tentacles?
Yes.
You do have suckers. So you're like a kind of an octopus, but with four arms, right? How do these arms connected to your head? Are they connected directly to the head, like again with an octopus, or do you actually have a body?
I have a body too.
How does it look like?
It's very slender. It's
Mm-hmm.
like wide but kind of flat.
Mm-hmm. Wide and flat, okay.
Yeah,
Approximately in comparison with a human size, how big are you?
probably twice as big.
Twice as big as humans, all right. Do you have a gender? Or it's more like androgynous creature?
It's androgynous.
It's androgynous, all right. How do you breathe underwater? I mean, if you have some kind of gills, like where are they located in your body?
Mhm. Wow, it's like a a hole instead of a gill, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like sucking in the water
Right,
and and then these streams of water are shooting out like the back where like my neck is.
Oh, so is the opening, is it in front, the one which is sucking the water?
Yeah, where my mouth would be, it's like very puckered
All right. So it's like you're breathing in the water and it comes out of another hole. How many hearts do you have?
too.
2 hearts, all right. Where are they located?
They're located one on top of the other
Uh-huh.
and
Interesting.
they're kind of lower than what a human heart
Mhm.
like might.
Right, Look at low and one are one above the other. Okay. What do you eat?
Like
What
a
what kind of,
moss,
like
like an
moss?
or like an algae, I mean.
Algae, okay, so you don't eat other creatures, you just eat like sea vegetables.
Right.
Right, all right. Tell me what color is, we can let go of the magic mirror. Tell me what color is the water around you?
It's like a very light green.
Very light green, all right. Uh, how far away can you see?
Um, it's okay. I can see maybe 50 feet out.
About 50 feet out, all right. So scan your senses. Let's see what kind of senses do you have? Do you have anything different than humans?
There's nothing. I see it's so empty. It's like I feel I can't pick up any movement in the water.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very desolate place. I think
Uh-huh.
I've been collecting the other forms of life that I found.
You're collecting the other forms of life. So do you bring them to this museum in the cave, or do you take them from there and take them someplace else?
I take them from my like when I travel around
Mhm.
and bring them back to the.
Uh-huh. To that cave? All right. Okay. So tell me, uh, let's travel around a little bit, and I want you to go back to the place where you normally live. So this is your place of your collection of your artifacts, but I want you to go to the place which you call home. And let's see how does it look like. 1, 2, 3. Let's go home.
Oh, it's so sad. I live in the cave.
Oh, you live right there in the cave?
I live in the back and I can see
Uh-huh.
the opening of the cave is the collection. The main room is the collection.
And the collection is in front of the cave. Does anybody ever come and visit your collection?
No.
All right. I gonna count to 3. And I want you to go back in time. I want you to stay in this life of this underwater creature. But I want you to go back in time when you were a baby, basically, maybe all the way to the time when you were born. So I want to see how you were created. How did your life started? The very first memory in that life. 1, 2, 3. Go there.
I'm like being born from a pod almost, like
Some kind of a pod, all right. And
there's
when
like
you just came out of the pod, how did you look like?
just was very amorphous, like
Uh-huh.
um the same color,
Right.
but very soft bodied.
Uh-huh.
Just um,
How small were you?
very small,
Very
very
small, like a
like a football size, like
football size. Okay. So not that small. All right, football
Mhm.
size. So when you're coming out of that pod, I want you to look around and see if there are any other beings being born next to you, or you're all by yourself.
There's 6 others like me coming out of the pod,
6 others like you.
but there's
Okay.
no like parents around. There's
Uh-huh.
just each of us, and we stay together
You
afterwards.
stay together in the beginning, all right, but there was no parents involved, right? Do you know at some point in your life how you were created? Were there actually any parents giving birth to these pods, or they were created in some other way? You might not know. I mean, I'm just wondering if you know the answer, because that was before you were born.
I've s- I've seen 2 of my species before,
Uh-huh.
where they it does take 2 androgynous beings to.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they kind of plant or
Mm-hmm.
it,
Right.
or pool their 2 resources.
Uh-huh. So they do it out of the body. They put some resources
Mhm.
or some kind of deposit, and then from this deposit, those pods originate.
Right.
But after they create those pods, they don't participate at all, right? They never came. They never like check you out or anything like this.
Mhm.
All right.
It's a very
So
desolate place.
it's a very desolate place. All right. So how long did you stay with the rest of your siblings?
Like 100 years over
About
the
100
course
years. Okay.
over the course of many decades.
Uh-huh.
Uh, there'd just be separations. Uh,
Uh-huh.
one got eaten,
One
one or
got
two.
eaten by who ate him?
There's this huge just predator that it's like kind of stalks the area.
Uh-huh. How does this predator look like?
It's kind of shark-like, but
Shark-like? Uh-huh.
but kind of more elongated, like a
Uh-huh.
snake.
Right. Kind of elongated. Do you have any kind of information or training or instincts to avoid this kind of predators?
Instinctual, definitely.
Instinctual. What kind of forms of protection do you have?
I have this. I can kind of make my body small. Like I can
Oh, really?
hide really well. I almost have a very malleable body, like a
Uh-huh.
octopus would or a
Uh-huh.
squid. So I
Right. Uh-huh.
can just hide in crevices very easily.
Oh, you can hide it in some under some rocks or something, and little caves. All right. Do you have any like You know, other forms of defenses, like say octopus has ink, you know, and you know, they can like change the color. I mean, can you do that?
No, I can't change color.
You can't change color,
Don't
huh?
have ink. It's more just shape and move
Uh-huh.
up, changing my shape.
Uh-huh. Right. Changing your shape, becoming like smaller and denser, right? And trying to find some crevice to hide. All right. So one of your siblings got eaten by a shark or shark-like creature. What happened to the rest of them?
Another had this interesting, another one wanted to pursue like kind of start out on their own journey. So it was like a
Mm-hmm.
split up, a
Uh-huh.
split up, which was a very high consciousness
Right. Uh-huh.
based on, evolutionarily, and don't seem that
Uh-huh.
advanced, but
So did they split up physically, like traveling to another place, or did they kind of like ascend and disappeared in high dimensions?
they split up physically, the
Oh,
rest of us.
right. Okay. And they started looking for some place.
So one stayed with me, but
Oh,
that
uh-huh.
one just died. I
Oh,
think it
and this one died. Uh-huh.
ate something, but
Uh-huh.
died, and
Right.
that was it. Yeah, over
All right.
decades.
All right. So you ended up in the end, you ended up all by yourself, right?
I was by myself.
Uh-huh. Do you have any pets? Do you have any other creatures which, you know, you play with who are not
Mm,
your own species?
There's a crab that comes
Uh-huh.
and I kind of feed, or comes with me in the
Uh-huh.
cave, and
Right. Uh-huh.
comes every day. So it's like a
He comes
stray.
every day, so it's almost like friendship, right? This crab, is it he's as intelligent as you, or he is more like a basically a pet?
Basically a pet.
Basically a pet. He's not as smart as you. Okay. So tell me, how did you get into the habit of collecting all these different skeletons and artifacts?
I always wanted to know what was out there. I knew, um I guess it made me feel less lonely, but I was
Hmm.
very interested in what is really out there. It was
Right. Hmm.
just like almost like going in the heart of
Hmm.
the jungle, or hundreds of years ago, where it's like unexplored in a
Right.
lot of
Hmm.
ways, and you don't know what you'll find. But opposite to the jungle is desolate. So I was like
Right.
wanting to know what other life there was in this place.
In this place. And what did you learn from your collection, from all these artifacts which you were studying? What did you learn about other life forms and about your planet?
I learned that there's a lot of other different life forms, but I learned that my planet is very big,
Hmm.
not easy to live on. So all
Right.
of these life forms were very specialized, and it was like a
Hmm.
it's like a hard life here, like not an abundant diversity, or very
Right. Hmm.
diverse, just but I did learn that there was a lot more than I had realized.
Hmm. All right. So let's go ahead in time. Let's go ahead in time. Let's go to an important event in this underwater creature's life.
I did make a friend, like a peer.
Hmm.
Um, it was another of my species, but not my original pod. It was
Right.
someone one that stumbled
Uh-huh.
upon
All
the cave
right.
in the
Uh-huh.
home.
Somebody found you. All right.
and they decided to stay. This was towards the end of my life, but it was a companionship.
You got companion, all right. So tell me, did you create your own pods? Did you create any offspring?
No.
No, you didn't have any offspring. All right. So let's go to the last day of your life. Last day of your life. And tell me what's happening on the last day of your life.
I just start falling apart, like I'm just in my room at the back of the cave.
Uh-huh.
My
Right.
and I'm I just am turning into like these particles when I with death. It's
Uh-huh.
my last breath. I'm just dematerializing.
You're dematerializing. So tell me what is happening with your spirit. Where is your consciousness is going now?
Oh, it's going up, up.
So let's see what is happening.
It's going up through the water.
Mhm.
Up. It's a long, long ways, and it breaches the surface.
Oh, now it reaches the surface, all right. And when you get out of the water, what do you see?
There's a very thin atmosphere, but then
Mhm.
outer space is like right there.
Oh, when you look up, what do you see?
I can see the boundary, like with the atmosphere and space
Mhm.
boundary. It's
Right.
like very distinctive. It's very cool.
Uh-huh. All right.
And
And where are you going from there?
I go up and I'm going to outer space.
So let's continue your journey and let's see what is happening next.
There I spend some time
Mhm.
and I have this spot where I'm like I can see like four planets around me and I just am enjoying.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
then in my next life
Mhm.
side,
So you're getting ready for the next life. Before we go into the next life, I want you as Elle to scan your body and see if you're holding any negative emotions in your body from the life of this underwater creature.
uh, um, loneliness
Loneliness, and where in your body is the loneliness?
in my abdomen, like
Uh-huh.
above my belly
Uh-huh.
button.
All right, so can we take it out of your body and have a look at it?
Yes,
Push it out and tell me, how does the loneliness look like?
it's like a gray cloud.
Gray cloud, all right.
It's very dense.
Mhm. What would you
Almost
like to do about this gray cloud?
uh, I'm holding it in my hands.
Uh-huh,
I see, and my hands are like see-through. It's like a
uh-huh. They're
I
transparent, you're like in the light body, okay.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I but there's this light coming out of it, so I'm like holding.
So tell me, what do you want to do in terms of like this gray energy? Do you want just to let it go and bring some white light or any other color light into your abdomen? Or do you want to work with this energy and transform it into something?
I want to work with this energy.
All right, so let's start working with this energy. use your healing abilities and self-healing abilities and all your powers and tell me, what are you doing with this energy?
I put it back in my kind of abdomen,
Uh-huh.
wrapping. I'm like kind of curling up in a ball and becoming this ball of like healing, like
Uh-huh.
just radiating
Mm-hmm.
this white light
Uh-huh.
inwards.
So it's easier for you to heal it when it's inside your body, right? Okay. So let's stay with the process till you transform it into something pleasant and positive and very useful in your life. And let's see what we can turn it into.
Um, it's it's turning into um, like a tenacity, like a resourcefulness.
Uh-huh. Okay. What color is resourcefulness?
It's a green.
Green, all right. All right, let's see if there's anything else from that life which we need to heal.
Just like a pain in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I take it out and
Take it out. Let's look at it. Uh-huh. How does it look like?
like a sharp edged,
Uh-huh.
like an obsidian rock.
Obsidian rock, all right. And what kind of emotion or feeling or thought form does it represent?
It represents um, just like the opposite of life. Like it represents just death.
Uh-huh.
It was
All
a
right.
life that I experienced a lot of
Mm-hmm.
death, but it wasn't balanced with life.
Uh-huh. Right. And you really liked all the dead things in that life, right?
Yeah, it was the closest thing I got to life.
Right. All right. So what shall we do with it? What do you think?
Uh, we should just bring the kind of put my head in my hands or in my arms
Uh-huh.
and
Okay.
let the white light radiate.
Uh-huh. Radiate the white light on it. And what is happening when you're radiating the white light on this kind of obsidian looking ball?
It's just almost melting. It's
It's
shrinking.
melting. Uh-huh. Good, good.
It's turning into like a gold, a
Oh,
liquid
good.
gold.
Uh-huh. Gold, all right. What do you think the gold represents here?
It represents just eternal life.
Eternal life, all right. And where do you want to put it?
I just want to put it through my head and let it run down my whole body.
Uh-huh. So it's kind of like the healing for the whole body. When this golden light going through your whole body. All right. So let's do that. And just tell me when you're done.
Okay.
All right. Tell me what kind of positive traits or skills or talents you want to keep from that life of this underwater creature.
The resourcefulness,
Resourcefulness. All right.
the being at peace with myself.
Uh-huh.
I learned I
Right. Uh-huh.
had to do that. I had to learn.
Okay.
And the inquisitive nature, it was
Uh-huh.
really helped manifest my curiosity.
Uh-huh.
It kind of, I left needing to know more.
Uh-huh. All right. So you remember how we do that, you bring your own body into the scene when this underwater creature is doing something very interesting, activating all the curiosity, being very comfortable with itself, put the golden web, like a semi-transparent filter, to take only what you want to take and just breathe it into yourself through the golden filter.
Mm.
Just take whatever skills, abilities, and positive traits, positive knowledge into your body. And tell me when you're done.
Done.
Done. All right. Is there anything else we need to know about the life of this underwater creature?
I was very detail oriented,
Very
very
detail oriented. All right.
collection.
Uh-huh. All right. All right. Very good. So let's go now into the next place. Next place, next scene, next lifetime related to marine biology.
Mm.
Tell me what
This
you
is
got.
um, this is the one where I look kind of like it's abundant with a lot of life.
Uh-huh. Is it also underwater?
Yes.
Uh-huh, okay. So tell me, how do you look like in that life?
I look like kind of like in that movie Shape of Water, just like the aqua
Uh-huh.
mermaid, and just
Uh-huh.
very. I have two legs, and
So you don't have a tail. I mean, you just have legs, right?
no, I have but I have like webbing
You have, well, like between the fingers, you have the
between
webbing.
the fingers and
Uh-huh.
yeah, and like kind of
Right. Uh-huh.
webbed, kind of finned looking.
Uh-huh. Your body, is it like, is it a smooth skin or is it kind of scaly? How does your skin look like?
It's scaly, but
Scaly.
very
What
tiny scales. Like
tiny, tiny little ones, all right. What color are you?
I'm like a I have like a iridescent.
Mhm.
I see purple and like blue.
Purplish bluish, all right.
Purplish
Do you
bluish.
have gender in this
Yes,
life? All right. Are you male or female?
female.
Female. Uh, how for your species, do females have any difference from the males? How do you know that you're a female?
I know I'm a female, just based on the genitalia. Like there's
Based on
yeah,
genitalia, all right. Do you have breasts or no?
no,
No. Ah, so okay. So you're not a mammal.
no,
You don't breastfeed, all right. Did you ever give birth in that life?
yes.
And what was the process? How do creatures, how do females, in your species give birth?
Um, it's it's a so there's no more than like 3 to 4 at a time, but
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like the live births of some sharks.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay, so it's not eggs or pods, they come out already as babies?
no, it's like the way that some sharks give live births.
Uh-huh. All right. How big are they when they're born?
Mm, Maybe 8 inches, like under a foot.
Uh-huh. Is it painful or no?
No,
No, not painful. All right. So tell me a little bit about your society.
very abundant, almost overcrowded.
Uh-huh.
Just
So it's a lot of
all
you. Uh-huh.
there's a lot of us, but there's a lot of creatures and diversity.
Uh-huh.
Um, Much of what you would see in today's oceans, but maybe a little more
More than today's
definitely
options, all
alien.
right.
Yeah, differences.
Uh-huh. So tell me, I mean, do you ever go on the surface of the ocean, you know? Or you only live underwater?
Um, we can see it, but there's something dangerous about going closer to
Ah,
the
okay.
surface, or we'd avoid it.
Uh-huh. Right. I mean, let me just clarify. Are you on Earth or you a different planet?
A different planet.
It's a different planet. Do you know, if we compare, you know, like oceans versus land, how much ocean is there? Is it all ocean or there is, you know, big pieces of land also?
There's just mountains that
Uh-huh.
jut up above the water,
Ah,
almost
it's like,
like,
uh-huh.
I guess, some volcanoes, but just
Volcanoes, uh-huh.
mountain ranges. There's no
Oh.
flat land. It's just like jagged lands.
Ah, okay. Does anybody live on these mountains? Oh no.
Yes, there's it's not very full of life like the water, but there's
Huh?
like mountain creatures, but they are dangerous, or they
Uh-huh.
harvest
Uh-huh.
um, from the sea, from the
Oh,
water.
they can go and kill you, right?
They can. They're kind of like a um they are kind of they walk on four legs, but they have kind of like a ape-like way about them. A
Uh-huh. Yeah.
mammal.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They're mammals, all right. So can they go underwater to catch you, or they can only catch you if you go to the mountain?
They swim, but are very
Or they can swim a little bit. Okay.
limited.
Uh-huh. So you can't
Yeah,
really
this
go close to those mountains, right?
you can't really go close to the mountains
Uh-huh.
because they can
Uh-huh.
swim and dive, and
Uh-huh.
but
So they can be harmful. Okay. All right. Is there any kind of flying creatures on your planet?
um, just like insect.
Insects. Okay. What color is the sky? If you look above the water, what color will be the sky?
It's like a really, really light purple.
Light purple. All right. How many suns do you have?
I see two suns.
Two suns. Uh-huh. Are they the same color or different color?
Um, they're the same color. Well, one's a little more red and is
Uh-huh.
burning a little more intensely.
Uh-huh. Right. I mean, is your planet always illuminated by at least one of those suns, or do you also have night when there are no sun?
Yeah, there is darkness, but only for a short period of
For a
time. The
short period
suns
of
were
time.
like
Okay.
they're not 180 degrees from one another. They're more like
Hmm.
120 or something. So
Right.
there's a short period of night.
Hmm. All right. Very good. So tell me, in your society, do you have like stable families? Do you have stable partners? So it's more or less polyamory. What is the family
Yes,
structure?
we have partners. We have it's kind of like a mate for life.
Oh, it's mating for life. All right.
It's actually more made for life than humans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So what happens if you mate for life and one of the partners die or get captured by those creatures and eaten?
Mhm.
What will happen with another partner?
There's like a community of I guess, widowers that
Oh,
all
okay.
live together, and at that point you can have, if you wish,
Oh,
polyamory. So it's like you can you don't have to enter another mate for life at that
okay.
point.
So the first one you have to mate for life, and then after that, you know, if one of them dies earlier, then you can become like an elder or something. All right. What
Or,
is
but
the?
at that point, it's
Uh-huh,
not so sexual, like not so. It's not like about really sex or romance. It's like
uh-huh.
it can, I guess, it can be in there, but it's more about just community.
Right. Uh-huh. Do you like with these two partners who mate for life? Do they have to live together, or they can live in separate places?
They they can do both.
Mm-hmm.
They can live. It's really. It depends on their mission. This is a very mission-oriented
Uh-huh.
place.
Right.
So it depends on what they're each doing.
Uh-huh. I see.
So, or
Uh-huh.
studying or invent or making or
Mm-hmm.
so the partnership is like there and important, but it's very mission oriented here.
Right. Right. So tell me, where do you sleep if you need to sleep at all? Do you
Mm.
have any kind of houses, buildings, or you just can live anywhere?
Yeah, it's kind of like a hive setup of
Hive? Uh-huh.
there's these like cubicle, but homes
Uh-huh.
on so you can live in it's like a wall of like little cube cubes that you can live in or like
Mhm.
hive type
Oh,
chambers.
so are they like kind of man-made, or it's a kind of a natural, like a rock formation or a coral or something,
It's
which
a
makes.
coral.
Uh-huh.
It's natural. Parts are like carved out, but it's all in
Okay.
the
So,
nat from the natural
uh-huh.
um,
Mhm.
landscape and
Right, right. So parts of the natural
aquascape.
landscape. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I see. So tell me about your technology. What kind of technology does this society have?
This society has a lot of communicative technology to communicate with one another from
Hmm.
large distances. It's almost like there's like a breastplate that you can wear to
Uh-huh.
communicate. You touch it and like can
Uh-huh.
communicate with
Uh-huh.
others,
Right.
but not as much for vehicles. Or we're really just get around on our own. We're good
Uh-huh.
swimmers, so
You're
that's
good
not as
swimmers, right? So you don't like bilocate, you can't travel like with the speed of thought or anything, you actually have to swim.
right. We have to
Mhm.
swim.
Right, right. So how far, like a human understanding, how many miles a day can you move?
Mm,
How far can you travel?
oh wow, maybe like 50 or 60 miles
Mhm.
in a day if
See,
needed.
uh-huh. Right. Uh-huh. Do you have to travel often or not so much?
Mm, for me, um, I am traveling often. I am studying.
Hmm. What is your main interest?
I'm studying communication of other species.
Ah, communication with other species. And with whom do you communicate? What other species are there?
I see like there's almost whale type animals.
Mhm.
Um, there are these just fish type.
Uh-huh. Right. Uh-huh.
And I have the technology to tap into their
Uh-huh.
communication. So I am
Uh-huh.
recording and studying.
Right. How is this technology different than technology you are using to communicate with your own species far away?
This technology is different from the intra-species communication. It's
Right.
like
Uh-huh.
um, And there's different versions, I guess, or
Uh-huh.
models, depending on what
Uh-huh.
type of animal it is. So
Uh-huh.
that's what we're working on now
Uh-huh. On
to
communications with them, okay.
pick up the frequencies of.
Uh-huh. Right. So all those creatures who live around you, like all these whale-like creatures and fish-like creatures, are they like on the same level of like intelligence or advancement, or they're more like animals?
They're more on a level of intelligence greater to ours than we've understood. So it's a very important discovery. It's
Uh-huh.
not as much the intelligence is almost matching
Uh-huh.
our own in some ways.
Uh-huh. So it's just literally like a different civilization.
Almost like how dolphins, like we don't know
Uh-huh.
much about them as much, and they're extremely intelligent.
Right,
And we're
right. Uh-huh.
still uncovering how,
Uh-huh.
the social structure works.
All right. Very good. So tell me, can you communicate with other beings, like of your own species or different species, without technology? Do you have any kind of like telepathic or intuitive abilities? Or do you need kind of universal translator?
Um, there's a telepathy with like the offspring.
Hmm. So within the family, right?
Yeah, so and you're close. So the telepathy works with those close to you, and then it
Oh,
gets
okay, okay.
diluted the further removed.
Uh-huh. So if they're far away and would not emotionally connected, then it's not going to work. You need the
Which
communication devices. Okay.
right.
All right. So let's go. Do you have a name in this life? Because this is like a big society. And do you in general have names or no?
It's like Ishma.
Is like Ishma or something? All
Yeah,
right.
Ishma came
Uh-huh.
to
Uh-huh.
me.
Does the name have any special meaning? Does it mean anything? Or it's just like a phonetics?
Light,
Oh,
something with.
it's something with light. Okay. All right. Very good. So let's go to an important event in Ishma's life. When something important is happening.
I'm getting okay. Like being promoted or being asked to be like an elder, like a chief in a way.
Okay, so you got some position of power. All right. Uh-huh.
Like a mentor, and
Uh-huh.
it almost has to do with more than power. It's like of wisdom and
Mm-hmm.
like becoming the crone, but it's a very important event for me.
Mm-hmm. Is there a special ceremony?
Yes.
How does it look like?
Oh, it's like in the center of the society.
Mm-hmm.
There are just all sorts of creatures are there and swimming around, like circling. I can like look up through the water and see all these fish and
Mm-hmm.
creatures just swimming around. And then there's these very brightly colored like decorations, like
Mm-hmm.
almost and it like kind of kelp looking. It's all natural though. It's like just brightly colored kelp
Uh-huh.
just strung everywhere, like making a headdress. Like there's headdresses made of this.
Uh-huh. Do you wear any clothes or no? Like you're
Only for
underwater, so I don't know.
ceremony.
Just only for ceremonial and just on your heads, right? Do you have like any hair on your heads, or it's just totally bald?
Yes, I have very black
Oh,
straight
you
hair.
do? Oh, you have a black straight hair. All right, very good. So let's go ahead in time. Let's go to the next important event in Ishma's life.
Mm. I'm seeing my daughter. My daughter is giving birth,
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're present, and it's okay.
and I'm there with her.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like three babies.
Oh, so now you have grandchildren. Mhm. All right, that's
And I'm
wonderful.
there. I'm kind of at least know how to be a midwife.
Okay. Did you ever had to do it with other females or just with your daughter?
I have done it before with other
You've done it
females.
before.
Yeah.
It's one of your like skills, occupations, all right? All right, let's go ahead in time to the next important event.
Mm. Um, uh, my partner dies.
Does he die from natural causes or not so
Uh,
natural?
it's from natural.
Just age. What is the ceremony, what is the ritual tradition surrounding death in your society?
Beautiful. It's celebrated. It's like a like a I can see the spirituality in this community.
Mhm,
It's
mhm.
just like a day, Dia de los Muertos. Like
Right. Mhm,
just, the body is put on like a platform with
uh-huh,
all these brightly colored um, plants and just and like even sea stars and things
uh-huh,
type
right.
things. And it's just swam around
Uh-huh,
the society so
right.
everyone can see and celebrate.
Uh-huh,
It's almost happy.
right. What are your religious beliefs? What do you believe will happen after death?
An ascension.
An ascension, all right. Are you able to communicate with the spirits?
Yes, there's like goddesses and gods that we communicate with, or
Mm-hmm.
like very Native American, like the
Uh-huh. With like tribal. Uh-huh.
spirit in every ride. There's like a spirit
Uh-huh.
of the the sea caves or a spirit of the
Ah,
waves.
okay.
Just kind of everything is alive. Everything
Everything
is
is alive. But say when your partner dies, can you communicate with him after death?
yes.
And how do you do that?
Through the time of it's like a meditation.
Mm-hmm.
I think instead of sleep, it's almost like a deep meditative state.
Good.
So I guess during kind of sleep, it can communicate.
Mm-hmm. Right, very good. So let's go to the last day of the Ishmael's life.
Mm, yeah, it's like a natural
Mm-hmm.
just decline, and was so happy in this life.
That
This
was,
was
yeah, it was a really good, very happy life. Very good, right? So what happens, like let the body take the last breath and you're on the other side of it. What happens with the spirit after you leave the body? Do you stay for some kind of a funeral or do you leave?
I stay.
Let's see what is happening when you're watching all your community dealing with your body. What do they do with the body?
They do the ceremony where they
Mm-hmm.
walk the body around
Mm-hmm.
and Um, and they're just singing and or like celebrating, and the song erupt like it's like a very beautiful but eerie song.
Mhm. Right. But do you bury the bodies or do they just disintegrate? Well, what is happening with the body after some time?
Well, the bodies, they we float them out to like out we like push them out to
Or to the surface?
yeah, I guess they may go to the surface, but we like on their raft that we buy for
Uh-huh.
them
Oh,
just
okay.
push them out over this kind of cliff,
Uh-huh.
and they just float out.
And what happens? I mean, do those monkey-like creatures eat those bodies or
They may, it's more like instead of bearing is not something we understand or
uh-huh, you
do.
don't understand the barrel, okay? Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's almost like a send off, like how some
Uh-huh.
bodies are sent off on a boat, kind of like.
Right. Uh-huh.
Mm,
All right. All right, very good. So how long do you stay in your community after you died?
mm. I stay for maybe some weeks and then I
So,
go.
all right, so let's see where you're going.
I go. I go up,
Mhm.
but I'm like after I leave the community, I'm traveling
Uh-huh.
around.
Traveling. Well, before you go too far away, I want you to tell me a little bit like what did you learn in this life and how it is related to the life of Elle. Give me
I
a little
learned,
bit of a life review. What do you think about this life?
wow, that was a very rich life. I was just learned community and
Hmm.
abundance
Hmm.
and um and I learned how to be in a community and not be
Hmm.
lonely, and friendship and work
Uh-huh.
and technology and research
Uh-huh.
was just beautiful.
All right. So find the scene in that life when she was really like very successful and at the top of her abilities and power and career wise, when she's really, really like self-actualizing, so to speak, and bring the body of Elle with you. So we're gonna bring some resources from that life.
Mm.
So now you're looking at Ishma from outside, from the body of Elle, and put some golden lights, golden filters in between, and tell me what do you want to bring from her?
Mm.
What kind of resources, energies, talents? What do you want?
Just like the amount of self-assured, like being self-assured, and the amount of self-love, just
Mm,
unwavering self-love,
right.
and with that love for everything around.
All right. Just start breathing it in. In this case, I mean, we mostly need this golden filter to just transmute the energy between extraterrestrial and human. It looks like a very positive life, basically without any serious trauma. So just bringing everything you want to bring. Breathe it in. Breathe it into your current life.
Mm.
And tell me when you're done.
And
All right, very good. So let's do one more life related to marine biology. So let's go to another time and place related to your current life career. And let's see what you can find. 1, 2, 3. Another existence, another life.
This is a human
Right, that's a
life.
human life.
It's not on Earth, but it's similar. It's
Mm-hmm.
like and this is the El Dorado type place
El Dorado
where I'm
type
like a
place.
priestess.
What
And
is your position in this place?
I am a priestess, but
Uh-huh.
I am overseeing like the aquatic.
Right. I was seeing aquatic life.
In this city, we have like there's a plaza, but instead of a floor ground, there's like water
Mm-hmm.
in the center, like canals and
Mm-hmm. I
creatures
mean,
that live.
can you walk on it, or is it more like a deep pool?
It's like a deep, deep pool, like in some areas,
Right.
hundreds of feet deep.
Okay, very, very deep. All right. And what kind of creatures live there?
My favorite is this whale-like creature that I like to draw, and it swims through the canals.
Uh-huh.
But there's other creatures in there. There's like these beautiful, almost like underwater, like bird-looking things, but they live underwater all of the time.
Uh-huh. Right. Mhm. And tell me, how are you communicating with them?
Here, I just feel them. It's like more of an empathic
Oh,
thing.
okay. So
So I'm like,
it's not telepathy, but you can feel the emotions and like a
mm-hmm.
state of being. All right. And these creatures with whom you communicate, are they as intelligent as, well, the humanoid beings, or they're more like animals?
More like animals.
They're more like animals. All right. So tell me, how did you become a priestess in that life? Let's go back in time and let's go to the time when some decisions are being made. How old you were when you already knew that you will become a priestess?
I was It was like at birth almost, or within the
It's
first
almost
year.
at birth, okay. So were you specially like conceived to become a priestess through like a special ritual when a special soul is being invited, or you were chosen after birth?
I was chosen after birth.
Of children after birth, so some special qualities. And were you raised by parents or were you raised by clergy?
Um, I had my parents, but I was in the community.
Uh-huh.
It was more of a community as was raising.
Uh-huh.
The thing is the priestesses
Mm-hmm.
stay like a child forever. It's like you stay. It's like for the rest of my life, I looked like maybe 11 or 12 years old.
Was it something done to you physically, not to allow you to become like a grown up and develop like all the sexual things?
It was almost just like a spiritual,
Or spiritual, huh?
where I never um had went through puberty.
Uh-huh.
It's just like a spiritual, like the energy just arrested the
Mm-hmm.
development.
All right,
And
so
then
it
it's
was
like
a spiritual thing, all right. So tell me, after your development, sexual development was basically arrested, do you live longer than other beings in this El Dorado place?
Um,
Do you age slower than them or no?
no, I don't really live longer. Actually, the life is not very long.
The life was not very long, right?
It's
Uh-huh.
where I should have been, I don't know, maybe 30 or 40, but
Uh-huh. Oh, I see. So tell me, let's go to the time of your death and let's see how did you die?
I drank poison.
Why did you do that?
This is a sacrifice.
Oh, so you decided to sacrifice yourself? So there was like a ceremonial?
Yeah, that's what was done.
Uh-huh. Why was there such a tradition to kill young priestesses? 30 is not that old.
It was to, it was believed in that place that the body was almost like a constraint.
Uh-huh. Oh, so it was like a liberation from the body?
Right. So then the just spirit would feed back into and into the aquatic, or at least in my case, the aquatic
Mm-hmm.
life
So did it? Did it fit back into the aquatic life or no?
for a while.
For a while it did, all right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So tell me, well, let's this body, like the body died. What did they do? What did they do with the body?
The body, they kind of cast it in gold, like
Wow.
made like a like
Like a
running
gold.
liquid gold over the body and made
Uh-huh.
like almost a tomb out of gold, but you could
Uh-huh.
see the contours of the body.
Mm-hmm. I see. How many of these priestesses have to kill themselves? Is it
Hmm,
just the chosen ones, or all of them had to die pretty young?
all of them.
All of them. So this tomb was full of these golden mummies, so to speak.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I see. After you left the body, I mean, did you have any kind of attachment to this? The body turned into a golden sculpture, or you didn't care anymore?
I liked to visit
You
my
like to visit your own body, okay?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I just would hang out. I would be go underwater and
Mm-hmm.
be it was so beautiful to just swim at the depths without any
Right,
problems or limitation, and then
right.
come above
So
and just
it was kind of
play.
worth it.
Yeah, it was very beautiful, and I was I had a lot of conviction for my beliefs, so I stayed for a
Mm.
long time.
We stayed for a long time. So after that life, did you reincarnate on the same planet, or you went someplace else?
No, I was finished with
We're
physically
finished
there.
with that. All right. So let's first of all let's check your body and let's see if you're holding anything negative from that life.
Mm.
Or it was mostly just really beautiful and wonderful.
I was so um maybe not being autonomous, like not questioning or thinking for
Uh-huh.
myself as much. I was so dedicated.
Mm-hmm. Also, you're
There's
like a
maybe
part of
like
this religious community and
right, it was
not
very
really.
strong religion.
Uh-huh.
So
So where are you holding this in the body, the whole hierarchy and obedience to the,
um
tradition, elders, religion?
with the hierarchy and the where was I in the hierarchy?
No, I want to know if you're holding it anywhere in your body.
Oh,
Is
um
it something we need to release? What do
uh
you, what do you feel?
in my solar plexus.
All right. So want to take it out and look at it?
Yeah, it's like a um like crystals, but like very sharp.
very sharp ones. All right, take them out and tell me, what do you want to do with them? You want to polish them, or do you want to like get rid of them? Or you want to make them like lighter? What
I
would be
want
your
to get
idea?
rid of them.
Get rid altogether, then get rid of them. You can
Mhm.
return them back to the Golden Temple.
Mhm.
Just leave them there with a sculpture.
Yes.
Just like a tombstone on the sculpture.
Mm.
Very good. What do you want to keep from that life?
I want to keep my just dedication, but to my mission,
Mm,
like the dedicated
mhm,
personality.
right. So again, we can bring the body of Elle into that life, see the priestess doing some ceremony or ritual or something very important. Put the golden verbs. It's enough gold there already, so bring the golden filter. And let's breathe in whatever you want to take from her. Let's take some deep breaths and bring this dedication into your body, into your energy field. Just tell me when you're done.
Okay.
Good. All right. So now I want you to go to the time. We're going to go to the time when your soul decided to incarnate on Earth. And let's see how did it happen and what kind of planning was involved in it.
Right. Um I decided to come to Earth for discovery
Right.
and learning, and I specifically picked the Egypt,
Uh-huh.
that very prolific time
Uh-huh.
of pyramids and advancement.
Right, when the pyramids was built, all right. Uh-huh. And if I remember correctly, that was also a priestess life, right, in Egypt?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we went through it last time. All right. So looking at all your human lives, what can you tell me in general about your mission on this planet?
My mission is like bringing together skills in alchemy and um, critical thinking and investigation.
Right. Uh-huh.
Transmute. So it's not just studying the way we think about it, but it's
Uh-huh.
also there's a spiritual backing
Right.
to
Mhm.
yeah.
Right. And so tell me, when you planned this life, the life of Elle, what is more like specific mission for this particular life, for your current life?
The mission for this life is like a liberation from social constructs that we as we know them, and just the marine world is so just integrated in the mission.
Mm-hmm. How is it integrated in your mission? How is it like breaking social constructs? How does this, resonate or relate with the marine life? Let's
A
get
lot of
some
it
color.
has to do with education
Uh-huh.
and how, so I feel a strong sense of opening up a way of educating that has not been
Mhm.
really given a lot of attention to before, or just breaking out of academia in the way that we know it, that it's kind of like the ivory tower is crumbling and it's not
Right.
always doing good by the people in the tower or in that field, really.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be a lot about educating, but a lot, and breaking bringing in the spirituality is
Mhm.
breaking the construct, because science and spirituality have been so kept separate.
Right.
um, but there's a lot of effort to keep them separate. It's almost seen as bad
Mm.
to combine them.
So let me ask you, in your opinion, how do you feel about it? The fact that you had so many lives in underwater worlds, how does it make you different from other starseeds? We already know that you're a starseed, you came from another, other planets, other worlds, but most of the starseeds, they just lived, on the surface, and you lived underwater. How does it make you different or unique?
What I feel, the ways in which it makes me different is that it makes me pretty fearless, because there's this that's associated, the water and depths are associated with the unknown
Mhm.
and maybe the dark and the scary.
Right.
And and I don't and I don't have a lot of fear.
Mhm.
It's brought out, it's instilled in the adventure, the fearlessness,
Mhm.
um the just I mean, we think on land of a lot of things are kind of on one plane, or just one, it's like on the ground.
Mhm.
Some things fly, but
Right.
underwater it's such a beyond three-dimensional, like just life is just above, below, to
Mhm.
the left, to the right. It's like
All right.
so rich. So
All right. Very good. So let me ask you, do you need any healing for the body of Elle today?
it's a
Let's
healing.
ask your higher self to do a quick body scan and let's see if we need any healing for the current body.
And it's in my heart,
Mhm.
um for like a boost of bravery to
All
do
right.
it.
All
Sometimes
right.
I forget how to access that bravery.
All right. So let's ask your higher self to show you how to access this bravery. Let's find, let's go deep into your higher self and let's find the way. Let's find this bravery energy and let's connect with it. You know, you can travel through space and time and dimensions. Find the bravery energy and tell me how it looks like.
It's like a very dark green, just
Mhm.
like blanket. Just
All right. Or like a protection, kind of like covering yourself with this
like a kind of like a cape, like not to
cape.
wrap myself to it, but like
Uh-huh.
a jagged traveler coat, or
Oh, okay,
cape.
like a cape or like something like almost historic. Okay. Right. What kind of character, what kind of person would wear such a cape?
What kind of person would what?
Would wear such a cape?
Would
Tell
wear
me.
what?
Right.
Um, just
Tell me about the person in the cape.
mm, this person is just in their integrity and stays on their path and
Mhm,
is um, action oriented but doesn't lose sight of the
mhm.
mission, the intended mission. And it's just a very compassionate person, a healer and an educator.
Right. So put on the cape and let's go in front of the magic mirror.
Mhm.
So now you're in your current body, you might look a little bit different, and you're wearing this dark green cape. And I want you to connect with this very brave person and their integrity. And since it's yourself, you don't need any golden webs, you can just merge with her. Just step into that image, just become it.
Mm,
How does it feel to be brave?
wonderful.
Wonderful. All right. So we're going to finish on this wonderful note. And I want you to remember everything you saw today in the session. Get very bright visuals if you want to sketch something. Or when you listen to the recording, it will all come back to you.